Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff, and welcome to our very last review of 2023. It's been a great year, been some awesome knives, and it's been a great year. I'm actually filming this the day before you're gonna see it. I must confess to you guys, I am a little bit behind on videos. Holidays, kind of set me back, but we're trying to catch up, and I thought this would be a great knife to end the year with, because this is a knife that I wanted to get reviewed before 2023 was over. We're going to actually scoot up a little bit because this is a big knife. There we go. All right, so a couple of things about this before we get into the full review. This version of the large Pyrite is a Knife Center exclusive. So we have these carbon fiber scales and the gold clip liners and thumb studs. However, the blade is still AR RPM 9, so really this is going to be a pretty good review for just the model itself. And second thing, yeah, this is the large size of the Pyrite, but it does feel like enough of a different knife to warrant its own review. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's start off with our blade length measurements. Sharpened edge, we are coming in here a little bit over 3.5 inches. We'll call it like 3.6 inches. If we measure all the way back here, our blade length is 3.7-ish, 3.8-ish. Yeah, so definitely a big knife, as you might expect, being called the large Pyrite. Har, har, har. Let's go ahead and get our size comparisons out here. Starting off with our rats. Here is the 1, and here's the 2. Good deal, good deal. Let's grab our Civivis. There's the Elementum. And here's the Praxis. So yeah, the Praxis is a big knife, but yeah, the Pyrite XL is even longer. Okay, USA made comparisons. Where is my bug out at? I am sorry, guys. Felt a bit disorganized today, I guess. Digging through my drawer here, looking for knives. Here we go, though. Here's the PM2. And here's our bug out. So yeah, actually in a lot of ways, the Pyrite does kind of feel like a bug out XL. And let's go ahead and do some comparisons against some other CJRBs. Start off with some big CJRBs. Here's the Resource. And here is the Frac. So of the big, I think the Pyrite is just a hair shorter than the Frac. And it's a little bit thinner than the Resource. So of the XL CJRBs, I guess it's a little less XL-y. Let's compare against the classic CJRB Feldspar. I think this is a knife a lot of people are familiar with. So I'm just a little bit bigger than that. Let's also bring out the CJRB Caldera, because why the heck not? And let's end our comparisons by comparing it against the regular sized Pyrite. Here is our regular drop point Pyrite, and here is our Wharncliffe, or alternate version Pyrite for comparison. Alrighty, so we did a lot of size comparisons, but hopefully that gives you an idea of the size of this guy. Materials here: AR RPM 9 for the blade, carbon fiber, steel. It's a button lock. We kind of went over all that. Let's go ahead and go to the cutting footage. Yeah, all the cows in the background. Be fine. Knife. Thank you. I know that was kind of weird. Someone just handed me the knife off screen. I had my brother with me today.
That was me.
And we both agree that this is a pretty gorgeous knife. And if Knife Center were to do a version of the small or the regular size Pyrite with these colors, I think that'd be pretty much the perfect Pyrite. That'd be pretty awesome. This fantastic carbon fiber with the gold and stuff, I think that'd be pretty sweet. Alrighty, guys. We're going to be doing the review cutting for the CJRB Pyrite XL. This has been a little bit of a weird week for me with the holidays and everything. I've gone behind on filming, but here we are. We're going to be filming this. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and not waste any more time. Let's start off with that action. Button lock. So, you know, you got that nice dangly, frictionless flopping around. CJRB, they've nailed their button lock action. This thing has such a good detent for button lock. It just really pops. I love the thumb studs too. I've had a couple CJRBs with button locks now, and I definitely prefer their thumb stud button lock combination to like their blade hole button lock thing. And I don't think CJRB's done a flipper with button lock yet, but yeah, thumb studs the button lock is the way to go in my opinion. Very, very nice action. Alrighty, how are the ergonomics? Well, it's a big knife, so a bunch of different sized hands are able to fit on here. This particular one has slightly contoured scales. Very, very comfortable. It's a big handle, like I said. Lots and lots of room, but pretty neutral overall. So, yeah, it's no problem whatsoever in the hand. And you have this little area you can choke up into, so I like that a whole lot. How does it carry? Well, it is a big knife, so that might be something that some people don't like, but I think it's a very easy to carry big knife. It's not overly thick. It's not overly big and hefty and chunky. It's fairly lightweight, especially this carbon fiber version here. The pocket clip is CJRB's typical clip, which I think is a really, really good pocket clip. In the pocket and out, no problem, piece of cake. Goes in all the way, it's a deep carry clip. Get my hand in there and move around. Good to go. And the clip is reversible, so all you lefties rejoice. They did not leave you out. The clip also has flat screws and is sunk into the scale. All right. Let's go ahead and start cutting some stuff. Drop point blade of AR RPM 9 steel. I love that steel. Let's go ahead and get into this. Also, I have my truck back. I think this is the first review cutting I'm doing with my truck back. It is so good to have the truck back, have my cutting board, have an actual table instead of that crappy little thing we were using for a while. So, good deal. Let's go ahead and get a utility cut done through here. Very, very nice. Oh yeah, this thing, like butter, passes through like nothing. You've got a broad blade, pretty much a full flat grind. That's one of my favorite combos for a blade. Fully flat ground, broad blades, just, they slice like no one's business. And they make the edge still a little bit robust, which we will see here on the rope test. Which, we're doing a new rope. The coil of rope I've been using pretty much since day one on this channel. Got stolen a while back because reasons, I guess. So we've got this new rope. We'll see how I like this as a cutting medium. I try and get rope that's kind of resistant and plasticky. Where is the end of this thing? Right here, yeah? Yeah, that should be it. Maybe? I don't know what I'm doing here. Alright, we're going to pause the video while I figure this out, because I'm a dum-dum. Alright, I figured it out. I had to have my brother help me, because I'm incompetent. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, passed through there pretty easily. Yeah, I feel like this rope's going to be pretty good and resistant. It's going to be a good testing medium. Let's go ahead and do our crunches. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this is our first rope. This is our first cutting with this rope. So I'm going to have to see how it holds up compared to other knives. But I feel like that did pretty well. We crunched through there decently well. This is a pretty tough rope. This might actually be a little bit tougher than the stuff I was using previously. So, alrighty. Now let's test that geometry. We are almost out of pool noodle and it's the middle of winter. So who knows when I'm going to be able to buy pool noodle again. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, whoa, 3. Do another one. Alrighty. So that felt pretty good going through there. I felt a little bit of a catch right here somewhere. That might have been some damage that we got from the rope or something. But overall, blade felt pretty nice going through there. There's where I tried to go super thin. But yeah, there we go. Overall, not bad. Let's give you guys some more close-ups of this gorgeous, gorgeous knife. And we will go ahead and get back to the table. Alrighty, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm liking and not liking about this knife. So, I carry this knife a lot. I did, and I feel like I got to know it pretty well. And so, yeah, let's dive in. Number one, the Pyrite is a good-looking knife. It's a very plain-looking knife. You know, it's a very knifey-looking knife, but I think it's a good one. This Knife Center exclusive version is very cool. I love the gold on black. That's one of my favorite colorways on a knife. And I just realized I don't have a piece of Pyrite out here on the table today. We've got some fluorite, barite, quartz. You got some epidote, some fluorite on limestone. Got some crinoids in limestone. Got some garnets in a nice piece of nice. It is a nice piece of nice. Got some chalcopyrite, but oh yeah, there's chalcopyrite, but we don't have any regular pyrite. Fool's gold, FES2. But yeah, there we go. Iron disulfide. But I like this look because it reminds me of the mineral pyrite. So, you know, that's cool, right? But yeah, there we go. Other versions of this knife, you got some good ones too. You got like green micarta, you got your basic G10 ones. So take your pick. Next thing, this is a very lefty-friendly knife. So you have the, you know, dual thumb studs, both sides. Button locks can be used by lefty people just as easily, if not easier, than righty people. And they do give you a spot for the clip to be flipped over. So, yay, they're thinking about the lefties. That's always important. This knife carries really well too. For such a big knife, it's actually fairly lightweight. If we open this up here, you can see there's all kinds of internal milling. So if you are someone that wants to kind of, you know, step into carrying larger knives, maybe that's something you haven't done before, this might be a good one to start with because it's not going to weigh you down. Next up, the action. Oh my goodness, the action is absolutely incredible. I really, really love this action. CJRB just, they've got their button lock action down. And especially with the thumb studs. I love the Pyrites that have the thumb studs. It feels like there's a detent on this thing. It just really, really pops. You know, I should have compared it against this knife earlier. These knives are actually very similar. The Kaiser Big Ladder XL and the CJRB Large Pyrite. There we go. This knife, you guys know I had a lot of problems with because the button would get sticky to the point where I couldn't really flick it out. And I did a lot of fixing and stuff. I've never had that problem with CJRB. And, I mean, this knife just, it's such a good action. Much better than this Kaiser. This one feels a little more mushy. This is just an excellent, excellent action. So, really well done. Next up, the ergonomics on this thing are fantastic. So we do have contoured scales, and I think that's the case for, I don't know if that's the case for all the Pyrites, large Pyrites, honestly. But nevertheless, this one is very, very comfortable. You have a very large handle, pretty neutral. A bunch of hand sizes are going to be able to fit onto this. You have an area up here that you can choke into very, very easily, get right up on that blade. It's very soft and rounded over. There's nothing that, you know, really pokes you, sticks you, or stabs you in the hand too bad. The clip kind of disappears. The jimping up here on the blade is functional jimping. It's not super aggressive, but it's, you know, it's functional. You can definitely feel it. So yeah, ergonomically, this is a really, really nice knife in the hand. Something else I appreciate about this is that they made the button bigger. And let me show you what I mean by that. So this is a bigger knife, and they gave it an appropriately sized plunge. You can see here that this button lock is bigger than the one on the original Pyrite. So instead of keeping, you know, the same size, they made it bigger. And I really appreciate that because bigger knife needs bigger lock, right? And speaking of that lock, blow some lint out of there. I missed it. Speaking of that lock, CJRB does do a really, really good button lock. I'm not the biggest button lock fan, admittedly, but CJRB does a good one, and I don't have any problems with it. So, congratulations, CJRB. This one looks very, very secure. One of the reasons I think their lock is so good, and I haven't had any problems with it, is because they do like this little cut out on the blade really well. The geometry is just very, very good. And look at that stop pin. They actually gave this knife a very nice big stop pin. So, yeah, I like that. They made it excel in every dimension, and that's really, really good. Fit and finish for this guy out of the box was perfect. Centering, everything was really, really nice. No blade play, no lock, rock, anything like that, so really, really good. Let's start with the blade. AR RPM 9, I love that steel. It's a very good steel. I like seeing artisan use it. I think it's a very good budget steel. It's one of the only powder metallurgy budget steels. In fact, I think it is the only powder steel that's meant specifically for budget knives. And this blade here, nice drop point. This is the most versatile blade shape out there, right? If you're a newbie to knives, I always recommend you get a drop point because it's just so versatile. You can do so much with it at EDC tasks, outdoor tasks. It's just, drop points are just great. They're just great. And this is a fully flat ground, well, pretty much fully flat ground. You can see there's a little bit up there, but pretty much fully flat ground blade. It's big, it's broad. That kind of geometry is just excellent. It's excellent. I love big, broad, flat grinds. They pass the material effortlessly, but they still maintain a little bit of strength behind the edge. So really, really nice there. Not a whole lot to complain about with this blade. Another thing about the blade is CJRB has started putting their branding right there, nice and tiny. So that's good. You know, they don't have a whole lot on the blade, so very, very nice. And this is specific to this model here, but I really do like this carbon fiber. It's very nice. Yeah, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous looking knife. Very cool carbon fiber. It's shiny, but also kind of matte. I don't know. It's just nice looking carbon fiber. It's really nice. So there we go. Alrighty. So moving on. What are some things I don't like? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's not a whole lot I don't like. In fact, I mean, if I really tried to nitpick, I'm sure there's a few things I could find. Oh, something I forgot to mention. Countersunk, or the clip is sunk into the scales with flat screws. I love to see that. And also CJRB's clip is just really, really great. Anyways, there's not a whole lot I don't like. Something that I find a little bit weird with some of CJRB's button locks is even when they do an all black version, they leave the button silver. And they might do that for a couple of reasons. It might be that if they coated the button, having a coated button on a coated blade will create stick and stuff. Okay, I've heard some people say that they leave it shiny so that it's visible and so you can disengage it easier. I don't really buy that. It's not a huge deal, and I've gotten used to it. And you know, even on things like my my frac that I have, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Where is my frac? I put them away here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, see, my all blacked out frac has the shiny button. It doesn't really bother me that much, and functionally it doesn't really matter. But you know, I think it'd be kind of cool to have a blacked out button. And really, that's it. I guess I could nitpick about the lanyard hole, but I'll be honest with you, this lanyard hole is not positioned bad, in my opinion. You know, if I've got a lanyard on this knife, I don't think it'll be bothering me in my hand too much. Maybe it might bother someone else, but there we go. The blade coating, it's holding up decently well. There's some smudges and stuff. I might be able to clean some of that off, but I'm not even going to complain about that, really. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to complain about here. So instead of complaining, let's go ahead and talk about whether I prefer the XL or the original size. And now this is going to be it's going to be interesting because I typically prefer XL knives, right? But I think I prefer the small version. Now the big version again is really, really dang good. There's not a whole lot to complain about. But this one, I feel like, is just a little bit nicer. The ergonomics are still great. I can still choke up in there. This knife here, the ergonomics are good, but it is big, right? It is big, and that can kind of lead to it feeling a little bit unwieldy in some situations. I also love the feeling of the metal scales on my little one. Maybe if I got a big, you know, all-metal version of the big guy, I'd like it better. I certainly do enjoy my, you know, all-metal frac. So maybe I will get an all-metal version of this, see if it changes my opinion. But even with my other Pyrite, which is right here, get out of the little case, guy. Even my other little Pyrite, this one is, you know, kind of the more typical one with the liners and the scales out front. I do like this one even a little bit more too, I think. It fits my hand a little bit better. Now, actually, speaking of this version here, CJRB has announced they're going to be making an XL version of the Pyrite with this blade shape. So, yay, you know, if that's your thing. I think I prefer the drop point version, but yeah. Anyways, I do think I like the smaller one better. It's just a really great size. Excuse me. It's a small knife, but it's not excessively small. So I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, I think I do prefer the small version. However, if you're someone with bigger hands, you'll probably gravitate towards this one here. All right, final conclusions. What do I think about the CJRB XL Pyrite? It's good, right? It's great. I really don't have anything negative to say about it. The Pyrite has proven itself to be one of the best knives in recent years, right? Budget or otherwise. And I think this is going to be a knife that everyone looks back on as an instant classic. This is just a great design. And CJRB is doing it right. There's not a whole lot to complain about. So good job, CJRB. We appreciate what you're doing. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.